Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire-Grimes. It's been over 20 years since The Matrix changed Hollywood. And like so many beloved films and heroes, it's back. And we're asked once again to choose between the red pill and the blue pill and plug back in for The Matrix Resurrections. It will be in theaters and streaming on HBO Max December 22nd. And I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Visionary director Lana Wachowski returns to the world that she created, but like all things, time and space are not what they once were. In the thrilling opening, the character of Bugs, played by Jessica Henwick, notes, "This is where it all began. This is where he began." Now, of course, Bugs is referring to Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, or Thomas Anderson as he's known in the real world. Bugs is on a dangerous mission to find Neo, but Thomas Anderson is living a very different life. He's created a series of popular Matrix games, and now Warner Brothers wants him to create a fourth to cash in on this reboot trend. Now the line between fiction and reality starts to blur when he meets a single mom of three named Tiffany. She's played by Carrie-Anne, but has no recollection of her past as Trinity. The appearance of former friends and foes becomes all too much for Thomas Anderson, and he must choose which path to go down if he wants to save Trinity. The film marks the return of Jada Pinkett Smith and welcomes Jonathan Groff, Neil Patrick Harris, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as Morpheus. The Matrix Resurrections is a movie that's probably best left to experience firsthand over reading or watching a bunch of reviews. Now it's hard to sum up and comment on this kind of film without revealing spoilers or making it any more confusing than it may be. Now, my initial notes when I was watching the movie were actually a series of memorable lines that stuck out to me, as if Lana Wachowski was poetically speaking about the state of the world and our existence in it. Now, one way to view The Matrix Resurrections is to think about your own path in life and the choices that you've made. And I wondered how much of Lana's own journey she has written into the character of Thomas and Neo as a reflection on her creating the original trilogy and where she's at now. She's clearly written this to be a very meta film, name-dropping Warner Brothers and stating a need for new names, new faces, as this film has new actors playing versions of our beloved characters. Now, I say versions only to imply that there's more going on here than just a traditional, straightforward continuation of the original trilogy. It'd probably help to rewatch them, but there's a lot of footage from those movies that's used here in a really clever way. Now, despite the different realities and memories, it still feels within the world and look of The Matrix. The first half felt pretty straightforward in its storytelling, but then you can go down that deep mental rabbit hole in the second half. I almost think it's best to try not to make too much sense of it and just experience it, grab a hold of what resonates within the deep layers of The Matrix. There's love, identity, and acceptance within this non-binary world that Lana Wachowski is calling us to. Unlike the original trilogy, the special effects and the action sequences are breathtaking as this world as they play with the time and space continuum. You feel right back in place with Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne playing those now iconic characters. And it's really great to see a new side of Jonathan Groff. The Matrix Resurrections may take a few viewings to really settle in, but that's not a bad thing. Lana Wachowski is a risky filmmaker who's never afraid to try something new and make it her style every step of the way. I'm giving The Matrix Resurrections 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got to interview this cast, so you'll definitely want to check out those interviews. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Paul's Movie Trip, and then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Matrix Resurrections. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.